Hello everybody and welcome to the channel, whether it is your first time here or you are a returning visitor. Today I'm at Stephen P Wallace disc golf course in Voorheesville, New York. Definitely one of the newer courses in the Albany area. I've never been here before, so I'm here to check it out and play the blue layout, which is the longer layout. I don't believe there are tee signs yet, so if you come by, log into UDisc and it'll give you everything you need. Let's kick it off. Hole 1 is a 343 foot par 3. Plays from the tee pad there to the basket. Top center of the screen, behind the hill, back in those trees, it looks like. So I ended up pushing a little long in the straight direction. Realistically, I think you want something a little bit more overstable, and to cut down through here, giving you a little bit of skip towards the basket. I'm right here. Not really the best area to be, for sure. I'm gonna try and give this a bid though and see what I can do from circle 2. Tap that in for the par on hole 1, and we'll move on to hole 2, which this rock tells me is that way. Hole number 2 is a 372 foot par 3. It plays from the tee pad just down in the lower left hand corner of the screen, through this big gap in the trees, and then where that pole is at the center of the screen behind all the trees, the basket is kind of tucked into the woods back almost behind that on the left. So I guess that might be a little bit straighter, or you might want to push it out a little bit further to the right. The trees were definitely something that was kind of in the way, so you need to, I feel like, keep a low ceiling. Maybe something that would just push straight with a little bit of fade at the end, instead of something like the Onyx, which is a little bit more overstable. In the end, I'm about 80 feet short of the basket, which is still up there through the trees. But that should be close enough for another pretty routine tap-in par. And tap that one in for the par on hole 2. Hole 3 is a 228 foot par 3 that plays out of this little cubby in the woods up to that basket straight ahead. Threw that one a little too high, caught a little bit of the trees. I think it was just about to start fading back towards the basket, and kind of just, that killed it a little bit. Not really certain where exactly I ended up, but I think it was turned over a little bit more than I was hoping. So that definitely got swatted down a little bit by catching those leaves. Needed to keep that lower. I'm about 65 feet out from the basket, so just inside circle 2. I'm gonna try to give this a little bit of a bid, but also still keep it close. Not too bad of a bid, and it's still right there for the tap-in par. Hole 4 is a 375 foot par 3. It plays up the hill a little bit and to the basket right there behind the electric tower. That was such a bad shot. Such a lucky first tree. So I'm still about 130 feet out. Need to just get this around the OB area where the electric tower is there and try to get myself close enough for a putt. And I just broke the wrist on that and totally turned it over. And this is going to set up for a miracle par if we can save it. So I look to be about 43 feet away or so to try to save the par. Just did not give that putt enough, left with a little bit still to get the bogey. Hole 5 is a 308 foot par 3 that plays down the hill to that basket in the shade at the middle of the screen. That looked like it skipped right underneath the basket. Got a little bit more of a roll at the end than I was hoping for, definitely. Could be a little bit long, definitely to the right. Hopefully it stayed out of the woods though. I'm not really sure how close to the basket they actually are. So that ended up skipping and rolling a little long. I'm at about 30 feet, so it's just inside circle 1. Dead center, just a little bit too much on that. Would have really liked to get the birdie, as I thought it was a really good shot and wanted to get the stroke back from the last hole, but we'll tap it in and take the par. Hole 6 is a 251 foot par 3 that plays out of the tunnel in the woods to that basket right there behind the 2 guardian trees. Definitely a little bit of a headwind there. Don't really think that affected it. Just kind of flipped up, turned a little bit too much, and caught the tree right before you came out. Looks like that went few feet high, but right over the basket. Caught one of the roots of the trees over there and actually may have rolled a little bit closer to the basket. And another par on hole 6. Hole 7 is a 337 foot par 3 that plays down the hill and looks like it goes back behind those trees. In the left would be where the basket would be. Definitely think I needed to push a little further on that. Probably should have thrown at least the Onyx instead of the Raptor. But I'm still really not sure where exactly this basket is, so I'll have to see if that's really good, really bad, in between, whatever, when I get up there. So like I had kind of suspected, really need to push it straighter a little bit longer, so I probably should have went with the Onyx as the basket's still down there around the corner. Not really anything here as far as a line. So I'm going to try and throw down a forehand roller, get something down around the corner towards the basket. Definitely not a shot that I use a lot, so this could be pretty scary. So I may have been a little further out from the basket than I'd initially thought, but I made it around the corner and I've left myself with about a 20-footer to save the par. Putt was definitely a little high, but center pole the whole way and dropped it in for the par. Hole 8 is a 335-foot par 3. Plays out of the little nook that I'm in, up into the woods, and the basket is tucked back there behind the trees. With the wind there, I was really not too sure what I wanted to throw. I ended up with a much better result than I was really even thinking. I'm about 55 feet away. It's still uphill. Would definitely love to cash this, but also really don't want to walk away with a bogey. Never really gave that one a chance. Hole 9 is a 285-foot par 3 that plays down this tunnel of a fairway, and the basket is back behind the trees at the top center of the screen in that lit up area. Really wanted to be just to the left of those trees. I think that would have set me up decently. So after hitting those trees, I've kicked off the fairway to the right. There really is nothing here. Definitely not the spot you want to be. Now I'm just gonna have to try and scramble, see what I can do. Definitely left that one a little short. Should be there though for the tap in bogey. So that is it for the front 9. I'm currently sitting at 2 over par, and I appreciate you watching, and come back for the back 9 coming soon. Thank you.